ClassX Radio, the other side of classic rock. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers and Amberlin behind that. And a newer one from Deep Purple from 2020 with Man Alive on ClassX Radio. Good morning. It is Bill Spry. Wednesday, February the 5th. Already, time flies. Let's jump into the news for this day. Bonnie Raitt has made her summer plans. She says, I'm looking forward to having my longtime pal and one of my favorite artists, blues legend Jimmy Vaughn and the Tilt-A-Whirl Band, to be our special guest for the late summer tour. And Vaughn adds that he's thrilled to play some shows with his talented friend Bonnie Raitt and her band. It's been a long time coming, he said. That show kicks off August the 20th in Port Chester, New York, and it'll wrap up on September 28th in Morrison, Colorado. A Bonnie Raitt fan club pre-sale begins Wednesday, 10 a.m. Tickets go on sale to the general public Friday at 10 a.m. Complete list of dates, you can find them at bonnieRaitt.com. Fleetwood Mac's Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham have always had kind of a sketchy relationship, if you will. But their bandmate Mick Fleetwood would love to see that change. Nicks and Buckingham dated in the 70s, but they broke up in 1976 while they were in the band. Their relationship has been tense over the years, and they had a final falling out in 2018, the same year that Buckingham was fired from the band. But Mick shares in a new interview that he would love to see them be friends again one day. I always have a fantasy that Stevie and Lindsey would pal up a bit more and just say everything's okay for them both. As for the future of Fleetwood Mac, well, Mick seems to agree with previous comments Nicks made that she didn't see a future for the band after Christine McVie's death in 2022. But he's hoping to keep playing music himself, even if it's with somebody new. Ozzy Osbourne and a reunited Black Sabbath will play their final concert in July. That show taking place at Aston Villa Park on July the 5th in the UK and feature the last ever live performance from the Prince of Darkness and Black Sabbath's original lineup. Support coming from a host of legendary bands like Alice in Chains, Metallica, Lamb of God, Slayer, and others. Tickets go on sale for that show Friday, February the 14th at 10 a.m. UK time. Now, as the years pass and time goes on, taste and talent change immensely. Paul McCartney has been very candid about the songs that he likes, that he dislikes, and absolutely detests. That being so, he's not one to bite his tongue for the sake of pride, and he proved that to be more than true when discussing the Beatles' classic, When I'm 64. It was released on the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper's album. Both the album and the song marked a major transition in the Beatles' career. Prior to the release of the album, McCartney and the Beatles had been more than busy, but for McCartney, there was still ground to be broken. Thus, their psychedelic masterpiece was born, and so was the song, When I'm 64. However, when Paul McCartney spoke with the LA Times, he divulged his grievance with the song. He told the publication, "It was really an arbitrary number when I wrote it. I probably should have called it When I'm 65, which is the retirement age in England, and the rhyme would have been easy. Something alive, when I'm 65. But he said it felt too predictable. It sounded better to say 64, he said. Although, when McCartney aged past 64, he realized the age didn't encapsulate the message that he was trying to portray. He came to this realization when he met a retirement home piano player at an undisclosed time and place. According to McCartney, the player stated, "I hope you don't mind, but I play some of your songs." And the most popular one is When I'm 64. But I have to change the title to When I'm 84 because 64 seems young to those people. Well, McCartney concluded his thoughts with the song, saying, "If I were to write it now, I'd probably call it When I'm 64. On this day in rock and roll 1972, Paul Simon, releases his first new song without Art Garfunkel. Mother and Child Reunion, peaking at number 4 in the U.S. Simon says he got the idea for the song title from a chicken and egg dish called Mother and Child Reunion that he saw on a Chinese restaurant menu. 71, Black Sabbath started recording what would be their third album, Master of Reality, at Island Studios in London, England. And also on this day in 67, the Beatles filmed part of the promo clip for Penny Lane around the Royal Theatre, Stratford, London, and walking up and down Angel Lane in London. Together with a video for Strawberry Fields Forever, this was one of the first examples of what later became known as the music video. And that's what we got for you today on your news updates here at ClassX Radio.